Folks, we're going to get started in about 1 minute. Thanks for logging on. All right, PJ, you ready to kick us off?
I am. Welcome, everybody, to the 2023 Director's Call. I don't want to break tradition, so I won't, and we will start off with a quote from Abraham Lincoln, who said, "I will prepare, and someday my chance will come." I think it's short and sweet and very apropos for this time of the year. We are definitely in preparation mode. So whether you are, outside on the street or on the treadmill or, going through the rule book, taking tests, please, quick reminder, tests are due by the 27th. And if you are registering for RefQuest, you must do so by Monday. And the deadline on the test is 5 p.m. on the 27th. Do not reach out for your governors anytime after noon on the 27th. Get your house in order, prepare, and someday your chance will come. So without further ado, I present our National Coordinator of Officials, Tom Abbott, and our Director of Officials Training and Education, Brian Abbott.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for logging on. What Tom and I put together for this evening is we're going to show a clip from the NCAA tape focused on face-offs. We'll run through a PowerPoint. Tom will summarize and then take care of some business items as we go. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. If we have time to take care of them, we will. Again, this video will be available approximately 24 hours after this. We'll send out a link as soon as it's available. All right, so that said, we're going to get ourselves over to the video.
Trend in face-off play based on feedback from the membership. Face-offs are conducted quicker, which has resulted in cleaner face-off play. There is zero tolerance for a player to not be positioned properly to begin the face-off. The official in this clip immediately calls a violation and awards the ball to the offended team. Correct positioning to start a face-off requires proper top-to-stop alignment. The face-off players here are properly aligned after the official's down command. The player in white is positioned improperly as his glove is not on the ground.
All right, gentlemen, right now we're going to switch over to our PowerPoint and work through that. Now, as we go through this, one thing I want you to keep in mind is what we've done in the past on the face-off, with our change mechanic that we've done at least the last 5 years or so. The only difference is we're stationary to start. That's the only change. The expectations of the players being in the proper position, etc. That's what we're going to maintain. So again, 3 important questions you have to ask as you prepare to do a face-off. How do you do it? That's the biggest key. You got to do this. This is all about your pregame. What are you looking for? And why are you doing what you're doing? If you can't answer that question, officiating is very difficult. So how do you do it? Right now, video is so available. You can see face-offs of the teams that you're going to be reffing. And just like they watch film, you watch film, get everything. In your pregame, talk about the roles of the guys right, left, and single so that you guys are matching and you can play off of one another. In the coaches meeting, listen. We're not there to answer a bunch of questions. Just listen to their concerns, soak it in just like you listen during a game. But most importantly, make the players do it right. And when you have that player meeting, remind them to play the ball. You want to get the ball out there, line up properly. If they do those things, let them know you're going to control the face, meaning the players. In your pregame, talk about positioning and understand what the players are trying to do. That'll help in positioning. Okay, what are you looking at? Who's covering what? The stick heads. So we have to, right or left, we have to be looking at the stick heads, our neutral zone, our gloves, and you're really looking at the guy in front of you. You can't look at the guy on the other side. You got to look at the gloves and the butt end of the guy in front of you, making sure that they came down positioned with that ball in the middle of their stick. You got to be prepared. What do I do when a long pole comes out? All right, and how do we handle it and communicate it as a crew? Running right. I think the guy running right is so important. You're watching the players after the goal. You're that stationary guy watching what's happening. You're going to make sure the bench areas, and I'm controlling the bench areas while we have the ball stay. So you're still officiating. It's not a time off. I'm just hanging out. I'm just going to run to my spot and wait. No, officiate that bench and make sure the benches, the substitution area is clear and the benches are where they're supposed to be. If not, stop it, make them do it. If they continue not to be where they're supposed to be, turn it off, turn it over. Positioning. I think it's really important that we're inside that wing line. If we're even with that wing line or behind it, when the players move, we're already behind the play and we can't see those holes. And I would consider getting a little bit lower because you need to have a big picture view of what's going on in the face-off. You're not watching them blow the whistle. You got your wing guys. But what are you covering? You're covering the goal or you're the trail. So I'd like to be a little bit closer to the goal and then do my normal mechanic as I come up as a trail. Focus on wing play, again, not the face-off. And again, it's the players that are closer together. Or is one guy dominating? Are you hearing from a coach that something's going on? You have to be willing to help with the big hits. So the ball's coming out, stuff's going around. We got right and left. They're getting in a good position to make sure no one's withholding the ball. If there's a big hit, someone comes flying in, throws an elbow, you got to be the guy that gets it. Again, you're that big picture guy to get that play made. Left, big time helper guy, checking the shot clock. All three of us are checking the shot clock, checking the game clock, making sure we're good, making sure that shot clock's at 80 when we start. Play off the single. Again, if we had a good pregame, we know what's going on. If someone is standing, if the single standing in the neutral zone, it doesn't make sense that the guy running left is in the neutral zone. We're trying to look at different things. Again, watching what's in front of you, the hands, the butt end, the head, etc. You got to find your stationary position. Some of us are going to be closer. You have to be close enough to see them leaning, or at least be at an angle to see a lean. But you also got to be able to make sure, working with your partner, that we can see that the ball is in the middle of the stick. And then if we're looking at the guys in front of us, looking at their gloves, where it's located at the top hand, the butt end, just like the video showed, or is everything on the ground? If you check the butt end, you'll know if he's on the line. That's a no-brainer. I always like to check the wing players, look over my right shoulder, because I want to know where my escape zone is. And most importantly, make a call if it's there. If we make calls, they will do it right. We can't just put the ball down, blow the whistle, because we've done a really good job And we need to continue to do that. Single, again, we're checking the shot clock, checking the game clock. Because if we have something happen with that game clock, we want to make sure we reset and be in the right position. Place the ball on the ground. Then find your position. Again, 3, 4, 5 yards away, you're stationary. Then we say down, set, whistle. Not a swistle, but we don't want them down for a long time. We need to have rhythm. Been fortunate to do some indoor games and some scrimmages in the fall. You can get in a really good rhythm, and it's not a rhythm where they can time you up, but a rhythm where you can get them down, set, whistle, and get really comfortable. And all three of us will do it a little bit different. And again, focusing on the guy in front of you. Violation restart. Make sure right and left are freezing the zones. Single side always has the restarts. We don't need to be in a rush. This is a great control time. And if you cover this in your pregame with the face-off guys and you say, look, tell your wing guy, if you put the ball down, he's coming in, not just to take off, just set his feet and I'll blow the whistle. So you're giving them the cue. If they do the right thing, they can gain the advantage that they want. And again, make sure we're checking the clocks after the violation, that we didn't lose a second or two. All right, contact information. You can contact me at any time. Feel free to give me a call or email. Anything you send me, I get right to Tommy. And as always, you have your governors and your assigners as well. So Tommy, I'd like to shoot it right over to you.
Thanks, PA. Great job. I mean, this PowerPoint says it all. The committee is looking for all the points that Brian just said. Play the ball for the players. Make sure you cover that in your pregame, your conversation with them on the field with the coaches. We want the time frame to be quick, not slow. We need to be stationary. So make sure after you get them ready, your partners point to you, say we're ready to roll. Get to your spot. Your spot can vary. It does not have to be in the same place. You could go behind the guy in front of you. You can go 45-degree angle. You can go on the line. We need to be just like players and coaches are during the course of a game. They change what they do. They adjust. They set up offense differently. They mismatch people differently. They adjust the way they play based upon their opponent. We have to adjust what we do based upon what we see. If you think guys are leaning, go on the line. If you think they're not doing real well on top to stop, then go top to stop. Make sure you're there where you can see that. Your helper's going to play off what you do. Talk to each other maybe as you're coming up the field after a score. Try not to have any tie-ups. If you do it right, and those guys know that they got to get the ball out, keep coaching them, keep talking to them. If we call violations on players that don't go down correctly, we'll have an easier time with this. They'll know we're serious. It has to be consistent right from the first day. They'll know how to do it. And that's what we have to do, is be consistent on that. There's zero tolerance for them to do that. They have to know it. So we have to call it. If we do that correctly, we'll be able to get this done right. The committee's always talked about trying to get the ball out quicker. I think overall the last 3 years since we came back from COVID have been really good. We started out slow, trying to figure it out. Now we're in a pretty good groove. And the only thing that's different is that we're going to be stationary when we say down, set, and whistle. So the only people who are moving are the players. The coaches have given me a lot of emails in the last couple of days. They're all paranoid about what their guys are doing. They don't think that we can see guys cheating. Fellas, if you can't see them from 2 to 3 to 5 yards away, then maybe we better find some other job for you. Bottom line is, you can see it. We have to call it if we see it. That's the kicker. Zero tolerance. If you do it early, they'll do it right. With that, I'm going to bump into one other little item that I want to talk about. We had an issue with one of the ICA's independent contractor agreements that was logged into ZebraWeb. The MAC conference had an item in it that was not accurate. I got to commend the MAC conference. They're one of the first ones to get the ICAs to us, but they were a little premature. They had an issue with it that's not accurate. So if you get a Division I game that's a MAC game, you will likely have to re-sign that contract, that ICA deal. So if you already signed one, be prepared to do it again real quick the next time you get a MAC game. The others are pretty straightforward. The only one that doesn't have it in D1 is the Atlantic 10. Outside of that, we'll have a few comments and things that we're going to do next time with high hits. Try to define that as we get the season going. The information that Brian has on this PowerPoint and the information that I talked about briefly is going to be in a summarized form, maybe with a couple of videos, and we're going to try and get that on RefQuest for all you guys that are in RefQuest. And PJ, just to follow up on PJ's comment, basically the test closes on the same day, but the RefQuest registration ends pretty quickly. If you want a playoff game and you want the benefits of an insurance policy and background check information and that kind of stuff, make sure you get it done in the next few days. Outside of that, I'm happy to be back and ready to do what we always do. Let's go out there and ref and do our job.
So there one question that came in is that last year we talked about not straddling a line, the midline. That has changed. Do what you have to do to see the play. And again, that's personal preference. You want to get the play right, and you're on video. Okay, this is where you get wins and you control the game. Be where you need to be to make that play.
Guys, it all depends a lot on what their wing players do, where they stand, where the ball's been popping out. Make sure you're safe. Stay in a spot where you're not going to get run over, but be in a spot where you can see what you need to see.
Absolutely. Well, folks, thanks for logging on. Again, we're going to hit high hits really hard, and we appreciate anything. PJ, you got anything as we close?
The only thing I was going to say is I will go back to my initial comment. We're going to prepare, and the chances will come. Part of preparation, the thing that BA spoke to in looking at that PowerPoint, the thing that spoke the most to me, and it is know the reasons why you're doing things. And I think if you think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, then the last 20 minutes makes a lot of sense. Where you're going to stand, where you're going to go, have reasons to do what it is that you're doing. And I think that that's a great lesson for today for each and every official that's on this webcam.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.